Brother Steve, come on up. And I met Brother Steve a while back. He's got a tremendous testimony. I don't have time for him to give it all today, but I'm going to let him give a testimony, and then we'll go into the teaching. Let me find you a mic here. Hallelujah.
Gonna make it very quick. Hello?
She'll get you.
Yeah, there you go.
She's doing double duty today.
Well, I thank God for giving me this opportunity to testify of His goodness and His mercy. The Bible says in Joel 2:32, "Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved." April 28th, 2014, I would go into Mount Carmel Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. I was having back pain, and when I went in, the doctor said, "I believe we're missing something that's underlining. I'm going to go ahead and give you a CAT scan." Gave me the CAT scan. He said, "You have lymphoma." Rushed me into the surgical room. They did a biopsy, took a lymph node out of my body, and in doing so, they sent it off to OSU Medical. It came back that I had Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I was stage 4. They said I had tumor masses attached to my trachea, heart, liver, spleen, stomach, spine, pelvic bone, all my lymph nodes, all my bloodstream. And 3 oncologists looked at me and said, "Make sure your life insurance is paid to date," and they walked out of the room. With that, it looked like it was hopeless. I went ahead and took 2 rounds of chemo, and inside of 2 months, I went from 197 to 130 pounds and thought I was checking out of here. And the doctors came in again and said, "The chemo is not working. Come back in 2 weeks, make sure your life insurance is paid to date." So twice they gave up on me. I was praying and God touched me, and there's a lot of people praying for me. Inside of that 2 weeks, I've been raised in the Church of God. My dad was a Church of God pastor. I gave my heart and life to Christ at an early age. But my kids had carried me from the seat down to the altar of the church. And I just knelt down and prayed a simple prayer. I said, "God, I know a lot of people are praying for me." I said, "But Lord, when you walk by, if you could just touch me, I know I'll be made whole." I literally felt a hand rest upon my left shoulder. And I stood up, and I turned around and looked. The cameras even caught me. I was turning around looking to find out who walked by and touched me. I stood up on my own strength, walked back to my seat and sat down, and I literally felt the atmosphere changed around about me. And the following Monday, I would go do a CAT scan. And when I did that scan, it was a Hindu doctor that did the scan for me. And he said, "Mr. Kinzer, get in my office." And I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "You're already in remission." I said, "Wait a minute, I'm stage 4. You had no plan. You gave me up to die not once but twice. And 2 weeks ago, my body's wrecked with this stuff." I said, "How often does this happen?" He said, "This doesn't happen at all." He said, "We had 3 oncologists from OSU Medical that gave you a 1% survival rate, a 1% cut." I'm so glad Jesus got into that 1%, touched and healed my body, and has restored me to perfect health. He not only delivered me from cancer, but He also delivered me from a drug addiction. I carry all these empty pill bottles, 29 empty pill bottles in this bag, so I know that God has spared my life, touched my life, and has changed me. And I just want to say this real quickly. The first time I met Brother Norvel Hayes was in 1994, and I remember coming up to the altar. He said, "What do you have need of?" I said, "Just pray for me. Whatever you feel like you need to pray for me." He said, "Well, okay." He began to speak in tongues, and then he prayed. He said, "God, whatever this young man, whatever storm he goes through, Jesus, I pray that you walk in the middle of that storm, meet him halfway, and lead him out." And I know for a fact that the hand of God rested upon me and led me out of that storm 20 years later. And I'm so grateful for men and women of God who know how to call upon the name of the Lord, because the beauty of this is that God is no respecter of person. And whatever you have need of, Jesus is able to touch you and meet your need right where you're at. God bless you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you.